This here following dysfunctional gaming program was filmed in front of a live Twitch audience.
What's happened? Oh, you yelled it. You did it that time. What's happened? Welcome to Dysfunctional Gaming's Talking D&D. Check it out. We have a new logo down there. I made that. Oh, right there. Yeah.
It looks like the Joker's upside down smile, color-wise. I like it.
I am Thundercat. To my right, your left, is GM
Hello,
Patch
I am
Nasty.
GM.
Oh, shit, son.
Yes.
Oh, Berserker.
That is me.
Shoot.
Hosting the stream.
Fuck. Yeah.
Thank you for the host, Berserker. Disto came in with the hot 3 months in a row. Tier 1 sub.
Well, before we even started.
Yeah, before the stream started, my Streamlabs was open, and it just like popped up and scared the shit out of me while we were talking. And then we had a couple bits from GM Patch Nasty. We see TSOs here as well. And Spikebane, hello, welcome.
So,
before we get into this week, what did we do last week?
We talked about things, mainly Dungeons and Dragons related.
Correct. You keep Berserker knows.
See, Berserker, he rolled a natural 20 on his history check. What up? There you go. I don't even have to explain what we did.
Berserker, right? We did talk about backgrounds last week. This week, and if you wanted to check that out, we have it on podcast form, and it is uploading to YouTube right now as we speak. So that should be up in a little while.
Oh, let's fucking DD.
You were right. No, you were right. Lynx was right.
Wait, it's broken. Where is it? Why is it not work? Done. DD, Daddy, it's broken.
Daddy.
Fix it. Dadman, why? It's broken.
Fix know what it is? He's probably not even in the chat yet.
That explains it.
Moderator takes a little while to get into the chat.
Hold on, wait.
Hi.
Wait.
Didn't see you there.
There it is. There you go. There's
Nice.
the thing right there. Thank you for the follow, Spike Vane. We appreciate it.
Hi. Didn't see you there. Thank you for following. All right.
It's the fourth one. Click the button.
So we're getting into the first ever Homebrew week. We are going to make things on the go. We're going to improv some things as we go, and we're also going to stat some pictures that were sent to us in our Discord.
Before we get into the craziness, why would you want to homebrew something?
Something new. Something new? Something the party has never seen before in Dungeons & Dragons. If you have a friend that reads every book, and you want to be here's something that you've never seen before, you dum-dum, and then scare them with it.
They're books. I read them. Inspiration is another good one. Like, you could take characters from other mediums to this material. Spontaneity, that's another good one.
Yep.
Keeping it fresh. And there's a difference between reskinning and homebrew. Just to say this right now, you can reskin any goblin to have it look like something and have it goblin stats. But homebrewing something takes a little bit more finesse.
And reskinning is a good way to screw with the people that screw with your party.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not why are we wait, what are these things? They're not goblins. What are they? They're mouse. They're the little mousers. Is that what they were called in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? The little that's what they are. That's what they look like. But they have goblin stats.
Oh, that's the perfect little minion.
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought about that.
You could make little.
Let's get into this. Let's get.
Yeah, right. You could make little the little dinosaurs from Jurassic Park. The Calamimus.
Oh, little compies.
Oh, the compies. Yes.
Compagnatus?
Yeah. Those little guys.
Fucking conkies. That's different.
Fucking conky.
All right. So, what are we bringing to the table first? Item number 1.
First, we had our first GIF to me because
GIF. It's a GIF.
gift without
GIF's
a
peanut
T.
butter.
Yes, exactly. Let me see if I can get this pulled up on the one is. So we want to go to properties here.
Moving pictures that make no noise.
There it is. First one in the Discord.
GIFs.
This one's going to be for Vandal
Superman!
Zero. We're going to stat Superman. We're going to figure out how he would be considered in our homebrew.
As GM and the poster of this, I would like to take the reins on this because we're not gonna convert what he would be like class wise. We're gonna make Kryptonians. Let's make a Kryptonian because you can put classes to anything, but
you could cut the sun out and then they become just human beings.
Well, it depends on the sun.
Well, I'm saying if you're on Earth, you cut the sun out of the equation, they're just human beings at that point. You're not getting the power of the sun.
Yep. So under
you can figure that out. That's something.
So under Faerun's
sunlight unsensitivity.
Sunlight
positivity.
Empowering sunlight.
There you go, yeah.
While this character is or has been exposed to direct sunlight for at least 8 hours, just to be fair, they gain the following benefits, and then giant list of Superman powers. Right there. Just boom! You are invulnerable to all types of damage. Everything.
You can't make it a race.
I would have to. Well, it wouldn't be a playable race, but if my players were to want to kill Superman, Vandal, this is a campaign we could do. That would be the race I would put behind a Kryptonian, because maybe someone dies and they want to be General Zod. I would allow that super epic Superman Zod fight and see how it turns out, but you would have that disabilitating while they are within how close is it usually when he just opens a box of kryptonite and
it's like
he
15 feet.
Sometimes it's farther depending on where you're pulling from.
I mean, I guess it's the size of the kryptonite too.
All right, so let's say
if you're holding kryptonite dust, you'd have to be within 10 feet of him. If you're holding a rock of kryptonite that's a pound or heavier, that's
let's say like a 2-pound diamond's worth of kryptonite.
Yep.
20 feet. 20-foot radius.
20-foot radius. Okay. Yeah.
All right, so that's your base, and they are. I would like to say I would say they are incapacitated. They cannot take actions or reactions. They cannot move. They don't move. Like that's the lore. When kryptonite, I'm done. I can't do nothing.
You can move 5 feet, but it's like crawling. So that's it.
Yep. I would also say that any weapon made from kryptonite or whatever you want to, unobtainium, fantasyum, whatever you want to flavor it to.
Fantasyum.
Fantasyum, you like that one? I just, bam, spur of the moment. Take that one there, James Cameron. I would say they're vulnerable to damage from that weapon. Like, they just take max damage from it. If there's a crit, then think about it. Like, if you have a kryptonite dagger that's made of all kryptonite, first of all, Superman's going to be weakened being near it.
Yep.
And if you're incapacitated, you're technically stunned. So if I hit you, it's a crit.
Can we add for like comic book ish reasons that like
Yes.
he has to see it for it to affect him?
Yes, absolutely.
So once once the race of a Kryptonian, once they see said artifact of kryptonite, they're like, oh no! So it's like
mid-flight.
As he's approaching, I pull out the kryptonite dagger, and he's like, whoa! Like slow motion falls to the ground.
Like think they're just flying faster than a speeding bullet, and then kryptonite.
Look what you see, buddy.
Yeah, I think so. Now that we've got like your racial traits, I would say they would have a +2 to Constitution. And do you want to go +1 to Intelligence? Because they were kind of an intelligent race until they blew up their own planet. I mean,
I don't know. You're not necessarily smarter. You maybe give them like a feature where it's like with technology they're better, because that's all I think.
Okay, so what's the other
technology?
Do you want to do the human bump and just give it a +1 to everything?
Probably. Probably.
That would be the safest bet.
Yeah. And then like when it comes to technology, you can add your proficiency bonus or whatever to rolls.
That's a very good point, Spike. Superman is vulnerable to magic in general, even in DC lore. So how would D&D magic go versus a Superman? I mean, honestly, it would probably affect him depending on stats and then rolls at that point.
I think he would be resistant to all magic, and then that would just be it. You could still damage him. It's just resistant. He's just like,
I would give him disadvantage on saving throws though, to back up that lore. Because if he's resistant to magical damage like fire and ice and shit, that makes sense. However, if you get inside of his brain, that makes that
maybe he has disadvantage on spells that require like intelligence or wisdom saving throws.
Well, I mean, if he's resistant to the damage on the saving throws, or for the damage, resistant to the damage as it is to magical damage.
Yeah.
Then I would just give him disadvantage on all saving throws against magic, because it's magic. If he gets hit with a fireball and he fails, like his dex save is going to be astronomical, because you got to think, unless you have kryptonite, he can also fly.
True.
And
super speed.
He would probably also have some regenerative properties because Superman.
Because of sun.
Yeah.
Unless you keep the kryptonite near him.
What would be interesting, just thinking about this as we say it, a Kryptonian in an Underdark campaign.
He'd have issue. He wouldn't be able to use a Krypton in a.
He'd be like a regular human.
He'd be a human with better stats. Like that's it.
And then when he gets to the surface, they're fucked.
Yep. Or if he has a friend cast the sunlight spell.
Ooh. Superman is vulnerable to magic. I think the sunlight spell would certainly work like that. Absolutely. Ooh. Yeah. That's one of those that would make the sunlight spell super effective in a campaign. A Kryptonian and then someone who can cast sunlight or daylight. I wouldn't give it to daylight.
It'd have to be something that you could cast for 8 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So I think that's a good Superman.
Yeah, I don't want to go overboard either. I don't want to
No, because we could take up the whole episode and just make Superman.
Yeah.
Obviously, levels of fighter, levels of paladin. I would probably throw in a couple levels of monk just for like the step of the wind, quote unquote.
The extra speed.
Yeah, the extra speed, really. But I think that's a good Kryptonian. They would be vulnerable to magic. The fire really wouldn't do much. All like your damaging spells, you would have to have crafty. Like if you threw one of those at your players and you had a wizard who doesn't do damage but has is like a buff or a debuffer, it would be brilliant. All right, Berserker, enjoy your getting swole.
Yeah, so get swole like Superman, bud.
Yeah.
We'll see you in a little while. So let's move on to our next GIF. I think this one was terrifying when I saw it. This is
I apologize for nothing.
This is for everyone's enjoyment. It's still terrifying. I don't even want to look at it. Here we go. It's gonna be what Patch's face is gonna look like in 2 seconds. So yeah, how about that thing? Obviously, it's some sort of monster.
Well, first of all, we have audio listeners. So Thundercat, please describe to our audio listeners.
All right, for the audio listeners, picture Mr. Clean. But the front of his face is missing, and it's more like a skeleton, and it's that his face is just being pushed in by his tongue.
It's almost as if the texture of the face is almost like a silly putty, like it reacts to the tongue and moves. Like the nose should be there, but there's no bone.
Yeah, the teeth end up coming out of them. It's really upsetting.
Anyway,
all right, back over to this Patch on screen, so I don't have to look at that for a bit. I mean, I'm still looking at it. It's on the other screen, looking right at me.
If that is not a creature,
that's not it's the closest thing I could think of is like a doppelganger.
For D&D standards, that GIF only makes me think of humanoid mimic slime. Ooh, like an ooblex. Ooh. When I posted that was one of my thoughts. Kind of like a slime that
it's so I can't turn my face from it. I can't keep my eyes off it. It just keeps happening.
Another thought process was for those of you that were around in the 2000s, late 90s, the Matrix, like that goo that he touches, on the
and it starts
image.
Pulling the
Except I thought of this was the reflection, just have the player character there, and then have this be the distorted image that just starts doing weird shit on the other side of a mirror, and have that be some form of psychic damage as you incur vicious hallucinations of yourself slowly deforming and turning into this mysterious humanoid slime putty.
Almost like a spell then, right?
Almost it's D&D, so it's a mirror. It's a mirror of illusion, or it's a mirror of psychic hallucination.
Yeah. I like it. A mirror of hallucination.
Mm-hmm. It's better than a mirror of life stealing. Any day of the week.
Now, how does it target who? How does it know who to target?
You look at the mirror. That's so.
But what if someone owns it? It would only be against people that it wouldn't want it to have, right? You wouldn't.
Essentially, it's one of those things of why would someone own this?
Okay, or why would you make this? Why would anyone make
exactly?
This? Okay.
Exactly. The wizard that made this was probably absolutely crazy and thought this is what he looked like as he went slowly insane and probably drove himself mad. And someone just found it in a hut and then just put it in a shop and then slowly started pulling out the ears.
I mean, if this was happening in real life to me, I'd probably check myself into a hospital if I was looking into a mirror.
DD, Daddy, the commands are broken.
Are you not?
Clip.
Are you not a moderator? Like, what is going on?
I am a moderator. I got the
So
little
why is-
sword and everything.
I bet you if I press it, it works. Damn it.
Daddy's is broken. Mom, it's broken. Mom, it's broken. Mom, it's broken.
Clip
Mom,
this
it's broken.
for Daddy.
Yep.
Mirror of Illusion feels like a dungeon trap that would be made or placed in the treasure room. Yeah.
Yes, I would also put it in a bedroom. I would put it in a bedroom.
Put it in
near
the crazy wizard's bedroom.
or put it behind a dresser. Put it behind a dresser and leave it slightly askew, because being a DM, Thundercat and I both know if you leave something out just a little bit, your players will go, I want to pull that out. Why is that
what's
back
that there?
Why is that slightly out?
Why is there
What does it do?
Why is there a blanket half covering this mirror?
Oh, sure. I don't know. Do you want to take it? Yeah, I do. Okay. Make an intelligence saving throw, please.
Do you look into the mirror?
I don't ask that question. I don't ask that question because if you're pulling a blanket off, pulling a blanket off of something, you don't know what it is.
If you pull the blanket off, if you pick up the whole thing with the blanket on it, then I ask, are you going to look into it?
Yep. Are you going to pull the blanket off?
I would say I pick up the whole thing with the blanket on because I want to move it over here to get a better look at this before I take a blanket off of it.
There's a blanket on something? No. I leave it there and I set the room on fire. Move on to the next room.
Or you pull the blanket.
It's a goddamn...
And there's a friggin' treasure chest behind it. You're like, yes, smart move. Open it up. There's a fucking 100 platinum. You're rich. You don't need to go adventuring ever again. You retire nice in the hills with your wife and 4 children. And then you never have to see that ever. Because you're like, I found the 100 platinum. I'm rich now. Bye-bye, boys and girls.
While you're fantasizing about your future life, that blanket that you threw up suddenly animates and then becomes a rug of smothering. And yep.
Good thing I have my knife out because I'm always prepared to cut a rug. And then I start doing a jig.
Make an intelligence save. No, you know what? I wouldn't even say just, you take 2 points of psychic damage. Ow, that hurt me.
You add 2 to your health
Right.
for giving psychic damage to your DM. Can we move on from this thing?
Yes, let's move on from the
It's
thing.
a mirror of
the mirror of
hallucinating
illusion.
A mirror of hallucination.
Mirror of hallucinations. I was going to say psychotic episodes.
Skeletal hallucinations. It's so gross. If you want to,
you keep looking at it.
I can't take my eyes off of it. It's gross. Okay, next. Ugh. Oh, these ones are great.
So, if you want to take a look at these images, you can go ahead and click the Dysfunctional Gaming link in that link tree that I just clicked right there. There's the command works. Watch links. And then bam, it works. Bam, there it goes.
Go to our Discord. They are in the Tavern Talk.
Make sure to read the rules and emote to it.
Yes,
thumbs up or put stuff there.
Yes, do that stuff. All right, we're going to go over to the next one, which are probably just as frightening.
Is this another one that I posted?
Yes. Here we go.
I was covering bases.
So yeah, we have the hand turkey, it looks like.
I would love to explain this to our audio listeners. So, audio listeners, do you remember when you used to take your hand and draw a turkey?
Hold on. Let me move the picture so they can see you on stream doing this too.
So here is turkey hand. So leave turkey hand as it is, but just imagine it as a real turkey. Like, it's got the little feet, it's got the face that you would draw on your turkey hand, and the feathers are not feathers, they're fingers. Like, there's an index, a middle, a ring, and a pinky, and there's 2 little feet and a turkey face. It is nightmare fuel once again. I apologize for nothing, but I saw that and I went, turkey hands, yes. Yep.
All right, I'm pulling it back up one more time.
For those of you with video, take a peek.
There's your turkey hands. All right, so
Turkey.
we can
I
get
like
rid
how
of-
they have like little fuzzies on their feet as opposed to like actual feathers.
like
So
the
I think those
the
are baby.
The bottoms are actual turkey legs, like turkey legs with the bottom of the turkey's like feather area is still there, and then it goes into the hand. And some of the fingers are like they're all different. Some of them are bent. Some of them are like this. Like
None of them are married though.
no, one of them looks
Nope.
like they broke their pinky.
Mm-hmm. That's the one that survived Thanksgiving.
That they shot just the
got
back
away.
feather off.
Okay. Is that an abomination or a monstrosity?
That's a monstrosity.
Okay.
And an abomination, and it's not an aberration.
No, it's not it's definitely not a dragon. It's definitely not humanoid. It's definitely not undead. Could you
It's not
imagine that thing undead?
It could be a beast, depending on your world.
No. It depends. If you are to make the world where you take your children and ask them to draw like images of animals for you, and this is what they come up with, yes, then it's a beast. In pure D&D, it's not a beast. Druids cannot. Would you allow a druid to turn into that?
I don't know why they would, but yes, why wouldn't? What like it depending on the.
I don't know why they would.
Depending on the world you're in, it could be a beast.
That's a TikTok right there. Just have the turkey hand, and right there. Would you let Druid turn into that thing? I don't know why it would, but yeah.
I don't. It's.
It's definitely got a peck attack. Would you give it a slam attack? Would it wait? Would it have a charge, but have the charge be the slam attack? Like it
would run like sideways, or would it? Now my question is, would the weight of it go like trying to go like closing its hand? Would it make it fall over? So that's why they have to keep their fingers up.
See, I thought it operated. The turkeys must have one heck of a grip. Yes, but it depends because I was thinking like they went opposite. So like these ones went this way, and
that's
then
gross.
Yeah, like
They could
bro,
probably
right there, they're
go
just moving.
anyway.
See, so they're just like, oh, they're double jointed. Ew.
Well, if we're gonna keep them as hands, then they can't go both ways.
Okay.
But if we were going to allow it to be a beast or a monstrosity in our D&D world, we can allow them to go both ways. It would be disgusting, and it would probably be like something that like you'd see in the abyss, like or hell, like something that you just wouldn't want to expect to see.
So are you telling me we just created an abyssal turkey?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm about this because abyssal chickens are terrifying.
So now they can go. Now their fingers can go either way. It's like they can go like this, or they can go like this.
So my next question: would they still follow the same like logic of turkeys, where they can fly for a little bit, or do they have like a full terrifying speed?
No, these are strictly ground turkeys.
Okay, so they can just
they can run. Yes, they can flutter. They have a flutter speed of whatever like half their speed would be. They can flutter, but they can't go up high enough to like fly.
So it's almost like a levitate, but it stops when you stop moving.
Yeah. So now this is my other thing. I think their feet would be able to turn like either way. Like their legs are just as double jointed as their feather fingers are.
Okay.
And so that's what gives them the balance that they need to throw a slam attack.
Okay. All right. Now, my next question.
if these fists are as big as a fucking real turkey too,
That's a big fucking fist. That's almost a big hand-sized fist.
Like, yes.
Yeah. Okay. What CR are they?
I'd go up to a 3.
You go up to a 3? Ooh, okay, so they're beefy. It's got a little bit of HP.
It's because they would travel in packs.
Okay, all right. So my next question is a group of them a 3, or is it a singular?
Maybe there'd be like one, maybe 1.5.
A swarm of insects and a giant bee.
Yeah, I think it would be more. I think it would be like 1.5.
1.5. So like a swarm of them could be like that would be.
I wouldn't even say a swarm. I would just say that they always travel with like other turkeys. So
now, in the pecking order of abyssal turkeys, is there an alpha or?
Nope, they're just a bunch of dumb things that are like, oh well, I know
so
if we go together, we're no.
They talk.
Have you ever seen turkeys work together before?
I don't want to even think about it. Turkeys are terrifying.
They are terrifying, but they've never happened.
This is also D&D, so they don't talk. They're dumb animals.
Yeah.
Okay.
What happens is the devils eat them.
Okay, so so they're essentially turkeys of they're turkeys of hell.
Yes.
Would their pecks do fire damage?
No.
Okay. Would they be resistant to fire damage?
Probably.
Okay. As most things are in hell.
That's what I figured.
Speed.
They could probably go, I would say, 30 feet.
30 feet? Okay. And
15
then
of which can be fluttered.
So if you 15 of it and you flutter and someone's in front of you, can I peck and claw?
Sure. But
okay,
you also
so claw
gotta
would
think,
be improvised.
You also got to think you could turn and grab.
Oh, could I?
Or you could turn and punch.
Could you imagine horse collaring someone and then just pecking them right in the face? As an abyssal turkey?
Well, the thumb's right there, so your head would be backward.
Doesn't matter. Because then your head would be backwards.
You would have to turn your head. But as an abyssal turkey, I feel like you'd be able to turn your head that far.
Yep.
Most of them can turn around. Most turkeys can turn around and get their feathers, so why wouldn't they?
Here we have a clutch of palm turkeys. The gobble majestically as they search through the grass for prey. Ah, the mating dance of them started as the males start heavily high-fiving each other to show their prowess to the females.
All right, we've done enough. I think we've done enough on palm turkeys.
The abyssal turkeys. Palm turkeys. I like palm turkeys. Palm turkeys does have a nice ring to it.
They'd have multi-attack. One would be a peck. The other one would be either a punch or push.
Yep. Or a claw, depending on
yeah, exactly. They could sharpen their fingernails. Never know. They could.
Would the females paint their nails? Would they have each other paint their nails? Would they poke their beaks in paints?
I mean, I guess it would depend.
We don't need to go. All right, so we're homebrewing too far.
I guess it would depend on the turkey farmer.
This is what happens when we have a druid in the party.
Okay. Yes, right. Oh no, we have a turkey. I've seen this beast before, haven't I? Yes, you have. In hell, I turned into the palm turkey. That thing is terrifying.
I can't wait until we start playing D&D again, so that way I can just does this look familiar to me? And you just look at me sideways, and I just look at you and just shrug.
Okay, so I want to say that we're going to use this one just because it was next, but I think this is just a reaction to the palm turkey. But we're going to go over to our next GIF from Vandal Zero.
Superman.
No, it looks like it's Mike.
It's Sully.
Sully, I mean, yeah, Sully. Mike's the green one. It's Sully from Monsters Inc. but his eyes get really big and he looks really nervous. So we could say it's nervous Sully. I don't know if we want to go with that one.
So I mean, I could stat that. I would give that. I could say. Let's say react. It's a reactionary spell because you don't have a lot of them.
Okay.
Sure, why not? Let's call it. Precautionary Sight.
Okay. Your eyes widen as you can see everything within 180 degrees of you.
Mm-hmm.
Because your eyes are open. Unless you're a beast that has eyes on both sides of your head.
Yeah, as your eyes almost engulf to the size of iguana eyes as they stretch around your head.
Gross.
You cannot be surprised.
It's a druid spell.
It is a druid spell.
We stick to the druid.
Exclusively druid. You cannot be surprised. You have advantage on initiative rolls.
But you have to roll a wisdom saving throw. If not, you are frightened by things that are not within your 180 degrees of sight.
Yep, I like that. I like that.
He looks scared as shitless.
It is a cantrip. It takes one action and lasts 1 round.
6 seconds. Yep.
6 seconds. It lasts a round because typically the only time I would use that cantrip ever, if I was to have it as a druid, would be as my DM is saying something. I would like to cast this, and then be like, all right, make my wisdom saving throw. Nope, I'm frightened. Shit.
But you see everything from here around you.
Sweet, my perception rolls are going to be out of town. Woohoo!
But I'm going to be scared
What's
right
that?
now.
I'm out of here. Ah! I can't see it. I'm gone.
All right. We had one from Dysfunctional Dad.
DD. Oh, this one? Yes. Cat snake.
Yeah, we have
Cat snake and rat offering. All right. So
there's a couple butterflies too.
I can't see the butterflies, but for our audio listeners, the main focus of this is a small, real looking rat with a cocktail sausage feeding what looks like a giant cat overlord that has a snake-like tail, and it is what type of cat would you call that? Almost like a coon cat?
Yeah.
Almost like a coon cat type like coloring, but it has a cat head, while the snake body is what would be
rattlesnake.
The cat
it looks
coloring. Like. But it's still a snake.
Yeah.
The butterflies are just butterflies.
Yeah, just some butterflies, and then there's a rat. Yeah, there's a rat holding a sausage on a fork.
So, I would stat cat snake overlord to similar to a naga.
Okay.
But I would give it more cat-like traits. I would give it enhanceability. I would give it animal savagery.
Now, how big are they? It doesn't look like it looks like it's a regular sized snake.
The issue is it's a rat, but the rat is also holding a regular sized fork, what it looks like to me, or a cocktail fork. So I'm all thrown off by my proportions, but I'm a DM, and if I wanted to scare my players...
A fork is probably about this big, and then a rat is probably... Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, I guess.
That's a mouse. It's not a rat, that's a mouse.
Yeah, that's true. It's a mouse, so it's a little bit smaller. Yeah, I mean...
But here's the thing. If this is D&D. If I want to scare my players, I'm not going to do it with a cat-sized snake cat. I'm going to do it with a house-sized snake cat. It's the size of a house.
I was just thinking like a human-sized snake cat would be just as terrifying.
No. This is going to be a giant, large in size. It has a movement speed of 60 feet. It's absolutely terrifying already. I would give it your base snake attacks right there. Boom. Go
Does
on.
it just live in the desert, like, or is it like a burrower? I could see this thing coming like almost like a purple worm, like just exploding out of the fucking ground and scaring the shit out of you. Or
I really want to think.
or is it as you're approaching, you just hear, because it's the size of a house, instead of it being like a rattle, like a baby's rattle, it's like knocking, like, and it's scary, and you're like, what is that?
So,
knocking? Like two rocks colliding together.
What I would like to think, I'm going to go absolutely terrifying on this, because this is going to be a little bit of a BBE cheat. Because I saw this and I was like, all right, cool. It lives in sewers. Like, extensive sewer systems, kind of like, you know, how Xanathar has layers, but this is just sewers. However, the fact that it has a cat... that it has cat face...
Can we stop before...
Sure. Go on.
It can't live just in sewers, man. This thing it's a cat and a snake, which means it can survive literally in any habitat. Like, the one habitat it won't live in, the only one it won't live in is ice, probably.
So the snat, as you will. The snat?
No. It's a cake.
It's not a cake. You see this very large cake in the middle of the road. What? Yeah, it has the face of a cat.
and it looks like a snake. You see a cake.
All right. So the
cake is a lie. It's a mimic of a cake.
The cake is a lie. I would say, depending on its coloring, is where it lies. This one seems to have very domesticated colors. So I think this was a cat that was polymorphed into a snake, but it was a terrible wizard, and this is how the snats... This is like alpha snat.
Can we call it a snate?
A snate? Sure, snate. We'll call it a snate. You don't like snat at all?
Snat just doesn't work for me.
So
I'd rather call
snake,
it a cake, because cake is great. Cake is a great way to go at it as a DM and be like, good luck if you see a cake.
But I would like to think this snat, or the snate with an E at the end, distinct snate, that the white ones can traverse through the snow.
Okay.
Like the more like brownish ones, like this one, but darker, could live in the trees.
Okay.
And like coil up around. The like black ones could live in the jungles, on the ground. Deserts, you don't really see a lot of them, but they'd be this color. But they can also be domesticated if they don't get too big.
How size fucking snake.
Yeah. But this one lives in a sewer. Like, I like to think that this one has thought process.
Jeffrey.
It was awakened, and now it likes to prey. So it uses the fact that it's got this cute little like cat face.
No.
And it lures people into the sewers.
This is a monstrosity. It's created. Yep. It's created by friggin' beholders.
DMs who know their players like cats.
It's created by fucking the fucking tentacle people there. Fucking
Illithids.
The Illithids create this thing, and this is what
cat danger worm.
It's an aberration. That's definitely an aberration to me.
It's definitely an aberration.
That's something made. Something created.
So yes, it would have constrict, it would have bite. I would give it a yowl to frighten you.
It would, I think just seeing it would frighten you. If it's the size of a house.
Yep.
You'd have to make your save just by looking at it.
So there is the snake, if you will. The sewer dwelling snake.
It's resistant to non-magical attacks.
Correct.
Because of its scales. The bite can do a poison or depending on where it's from, poison or fire damage.
I think
depending on-
I think the poison should be paralysis. I really, because that's
well, a poison.
that's
Yeah,
really,
it does poison damage, and if you get the poison, like so, you would make a save to see if you got poison damage. If you got poison damage, then you would make another save, and 2 rounds later, if you don't remove the poison, you could be paralyzed. So you'd have to save twice.
I would do the save once, and if you pass it, you only take poison damage, and it would be like something innate.
That would work.
Like 2.
Yep.
You only
like
take
that.
2 poison damage. Well, I'm a dwarf. I'm like, okay, then you take 1. Okay. You failed. So you take 1 point of poison damage again, but now you're paralyzed.
Yes.
What?
Until your next turn.
You passed the last time.
Until the end of its next turn.
Uh-huh. Instead of a gaze, because I think gazes are more for basilisks that are snake-like, but not an actual snake. Does cat snake still cough up giant fur balls?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it depends on what it eats, I guess.
Yeah. So wait, if cat snake throws up giant fur balls, does it shed its skin like a snake, or does the oh, this is so confusing. How would you know that you're gonna bump into a snake? Would you see like a pile of fur balls, or would you see molted fur?
You would see large snake skin like all over the place. No, that's furry, because I feel like the snake skin would still be snake skin.
Oh, it'd be snake skin. Okay.
I feel like probably from like the chest up would start where the fur starts, like halfway up the snake.
Kind of like a Yanti.
Yes, so you would see, but you would also have fur balls, like because it could still like lick some. So you would see huge fur balls and huge snake skins, and you'd be like, "What the fuck is this shit?" Like, there's a big fucking snake around, or there's a lion that ate a snake. Like, nope, it's full.
Let's take away. I have a better so. Let's keep all this. Let's take away the fact that it's giant. It's still got a 60-foot movement speed because it's a speedy boy. But now let's give the Yantis a house cat. Like, Chris Perkins has made the Abyssal Chicken, the El Mirage. Why can't we make a Yanti house cat that's a house snake? A cat snake. A snake, if you will. A snake.
Then
you start approaching the Yanti palace.
Send it to Chris Perkins. We've got it. Flip. Still not working.
DD, it's broken.
Where is our dad? We need daddy.
Daddy, it's broken. Now I gotta listen to things.
So yeah. All right. Well, do you want to take a quick break? Or
I can't hear you because I can hear me. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing our boss job.
Gotcha. Because we can keep going. We got a few more.
Done. I'm so loud. I'm sorry, everyone. Okay. Copy.
I have it. That's at full. That's at full though, right?
No, that's the point. Like where I was like, let's take away the fact that
you're so loud. I'm sorry, everyone. That's because you had the volume all the way up on that.
Yeah.
Clip, right. Yeah.
Well, it always starts that way.
Yeah. Well, that's what I want it to be loud enough so people can turn it down.
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart.
At least you have control of your volume. That's what I'm looking for. Good. That's good news.
So we've done a trap. Or we've done a trap/item.
Yeah.
We've covered 2 with 1.
We did a race.
Sneaky-ish
race.
No, we did a race. Fuck you, Vandal. We did a race. We haven't made a spell. We've made a monster.
Well, we talked about the druid spell. We got the druid spell.
We did talk about the druid spell. We did make a spell, the cantrip. The cantrip of I want to metagame as a player. I like it. Metagaming player. Woo!
We made a Yanti house cat.
The Yanti house cat. The house snake. Not snat. 2 different things.
Not cake.
Not cake. Boop, 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 boop. we've got more things in the bag. I'm pretty sure we'll talk about some of our own homebrews and how we can apply them to other things. I know you have something else you want to talk about.
Which was that?
Ta-da!
Oh, the subclass
Abracadabra, B!
background I wanted to do, subclass background.
It depends. So, as you mentioned it before we were getting ready to go live, my thoughts on it, it depends on how you want to flavor your magician. If you want it to be something that you don't really play upon too much now, but you use it just a little bit to get you further, I would do it as a background.
I think it works as a background best, but my issue is like, why would you want to pick this subclass if you can just pick actual magic?
Well, because it's the thing, it's not the being a magic user, it's the being a showman. It's
right.
The being a showman and being able to. It's being able to misdirect. It's being, because you would give you Arcana. I would give you Arcana and Sleight of Hand if it was a background. Immediately be like, Sleight of Hand is your magic, but I would give you the ability to know real magic and be like, well, I'm going to back up. Have a great day.
Or
that's
I was
being like
thinking
streetwise. Deception's also a good one. Typically, if you're going to use the magician background, I would probably use it as a bard, as it is.
Yeah, and
so I would take deception
as another skill
bases.
Because you'll be using it a lot.
Yep. If you were to do it as like a subclass or a full-out class, that's when it would get like you would want to probably have that player who's like Paul Rudd in Marvel and actually take like sleight of hand magic classes and pull a card out of nowhere. Because that's the dedication you want. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you can play D&D and be a fighter and not have, like, actual, like, fucking muscles and stuff. Or be a bard and not make a single rhyme. And be the laziest bard ever. Bing. But I think that would probably benefit for, like, the player who has that little bit of shit, like, sleight of hand.
Yeah, I think... See, so I was talking with Vandal about it. And we were thinking, like, back in 3.5, they had classes where you'd get them from, like, your multi-class, basically. You'd have to multi-class
into certain things,
3 into, like, Bard and
crazy.
3 into Rogue, and then you could get your Magician class or whatever. So we were trying to think of something like that on that idea, but didn't really come to fruition for us, but that was something we were
honestly
thinking as well.
You could what I would do is I would take a rogue, I would give it the magician background that we just talked about, give it like some extra things, and then make it an arcane trickster, like, because that would not be good. Like, if you're picking the magician background, like, you want to have a little bit of magic, like real magic, just because, and having that spectral mage hand that we talked about when we did the rogue episode, like, as a magician would be really handy for an actual, like, sleight of hand performance. I think that would probably, like, that you would have to talk, like, if you wanted to be a D, like, if you were going in and be like, hey, I want to be a magician, but this is the idea I had. I wanted to make a background, but I want it to fit this.
Yeah, I was also thinking it could just be a flavor that you use as, like, your wizard or as your bard. Like, I use...
Yeah, instead of a robe, like, you have, like, instead of flowing robes, you have a flowing tuxedo with a long top hat and cane and monocle.
And a cane, exactly. Yeah. And inside the cane, you can have flowers appear, and it's actually just magic that you use it.
Oh, I'd have it as a cane of many objects. Cane of many objects, right there. Like, you remember how I had the code of useless objects?
Stupid stuff.
We'll get into that.
Stupid stuff that we could do like that. I think that would be fun.
All right, so this just happened.
I saw the picture come in. We're gonna do a straight up from the Discord new picture that came in from Spike. Here it is.
All right, so this is a what looks like to be a reindeer.
Reindeer,
as it pulls off its hooves and then flexes its hands.
Has little fingers that jiggle around. Oh, obviously reindeer stats, but it would be better. It could grab you. I would give it grapples. Grapples and punches.
I like that.
Instead of that. Like it would just be it would go up like a quarter CR. It would go from a quarter CR to a half CR just because it could grapple and punch you. You see a group of deer running through the forest. Oh, I shoot one with a bow so I can have dinner tonight. It turns around. It turns around with the arrow in its hind and reaches back with its hand and pulls the arrow out of its back.
What you could, I thought of this too. Like, have this one could also be another druid exclusive magical item, like the gloves of animal companionship. Make it so your druid can theoretically, as a bear, pull off its glove because it'll fit your form immediately. So it'll be your hand. But as you pull it off, you have these bear-like hands, like bear-sized hands. I was
even thinking they just have a ring. And
it's a ring.
And it just
that's perfect.
And if you want to, you just all of a sudden your hooves turn into fingers. Like it's a bonus. It's a bonus action.
I like that.
I'd like to grapple, but you're a deer. Well, I use my bonus action to activate my ring of fingers, my ring of hands.
The ring, I wanted to say your fing, Fing, your finger ring.
Oh,
and then you just push them, but no, that doesn't work. Yeah.
Well, 0 for 2 today on your.
Yeah, 0 for 2.
Snat and
I don't know.
Thing.
Snat sounded great.
Snat
but
might work.
Snate's a little bit better. Snat.
All right.
Say it many times.
All right. There was one from Vandal in here that we skipped over. It's like a Tyrannosaurus Rex alien from Alien.
Oh, Jesus, that's terrifying. So I would give it T-Rex stats. So it would have like 40 speed, a bite.
Yep.
All the T-Rex things. However, it's got a tail attack. The tail does piercing as opposed to bludgeoning because it stabs instead of thumps. It's clearly modeled after the Queen. So it's gonna be beefier. It's gonna have legendary reactions. I want to say it's gonna have legendary actions because if I was doing some type of Jurassic Park alien hybrid type of campaign, this would be my Spielberg ending right there.
Yeah.
I want to give it an acid spit.
Also have a ram.
Yep, definitely has a ram.
I feel like it could probably spit out smaller ones. Like smaller.
No, we're not going to go full, we're not going to go zombie T-Rex on this. I will say that is a lair action if you are at its lair. Like one of the eggs in the chamber will erupt and take out a tiny little face hugger compagnasis. I guess. Cuz I'm assuming the T-Rex is the predator.
What if it could spit the little things that wrap around your face instead?
Oh, it spits face huggers?
Yeah.
So the little mouth. Oh, that's terrifying. I like that. Let's keep it.
Because the little mouth is still as big as your face, basically.
Are we gonna the question is do we want to give it the acid blood that aliens are known for? Because if you have one of those,
of course.
Okay. Because you're gonna have that hot shit player who wants to try and ride the son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Bite comes with extra range for less damage, but up close bite's going to get bonus damage modifier by getting bit by 2 pairs of jaws. I like that.
I would let you roll. I would let you roll a second, like I think another attack, to see if you get bit by the first one. Then he rolls again to see if you get bit by the second one. If it misses on the first bite, it doesn't get the second bite because obviously it won't get close enough.
Because the T-Rex, when they bite you, they grapple you. So
but instead, you would just roll it. Instead of the grapple, you do the second bite.
Oh, I would have it grapple, and then the second bite on the next turn is going to be the one that's biting you.
Ah, yeah.
I would, yeah.
So a second turn, you get a second attack. I got you. Yeah.
Because the queen's smart. The queen's just going to chomp down on the barbarian, take him out of the fight, and then smash everybody else and use that speed.
So
and then let the babies take out.
We got our queen bee.
I would certainly have. I would make it be acid and not poison because.
Yep.
Would I buff the speed because it's an alien and aliens are super fast and give it like 50 instead of 40?
What if you gave it like a advantage on something else?
I'll give it an advantage on strength. Boom. There you go. And we
you know what I
bump
mean?
it.
And then you don't have to worry
checks.
about bumping the speed. You can keep the speed.
I would give it superior build. I would give it superior build and then siege monster. Right then and there. This thing's meant to would take damage and knock your shit down.
All right.
She wants to knock your shit down and move in.
So we've got our BBEG. I think I found a minion maybe for this.
Oh.
We'll see what you guys think. Patch, tell them what you see. Pat, tell me what you see when.
I'm waiting. Okay. I see something terrifying. I see what looks like your typical undead ghoul, but its body has been replaced by a squirrel. However, there's a caption above it that this squirrel has gotten its head stuck in Halloween decoration. It's terrifying. It's great. I like it. So it is. It kind of reminds me of the larva that we talked about. Like they maintain their face, but they're like the fat grub. But now they maintain their head, but they got this tiny little squirrel body that have to hold their head up.
They're holding on. I was thinking that it was just once again a monstrosity, something that just kind of is in the abyss or in hell. You get down there, you see the back end of it as it's like looking for something in the ground, and it turns around and you see this face, and you're like, "What the fuck?" You're like, "I'm out of here." You're like, "I'm not going near anything that lives down here." Just a good way to like the chicken, the whole idea, like everything we just talked about with the turkey, like it just looks terrifying.
Yeah, it would be because it would be something in Pandemonium. It's absolutely something in Pandemonium or the Abyss. This would be one of those things I would reskin. This would be like a reskin, like gibbering mouther.
Gotcha.
Just because of
something. It wouldn't be. It would be real like low level, but it'd be. They'd come.
It would be something. Yeah, it would be something low level just to fuck with my players.
Yep.
Like, give it a sword, make it a goblin.
Right.
It's this tiny little terrifying squirrel. Army man.
Squirrel ghoul.
Sergeant School.
Ghoul. It's a girl.
Honestly, think about it. You could reskin a skeleton and then give it a bow and then like make it vulnerable to bludgeoning damage and just have it be a skull instead of like an actual head. Because that's even more terrifying. Like, imagine that thing with no flesh. Just a skeleton.
A tiny squirrel skeleton with a ghoul
human
head.
Squirrel with a human skull. Yeah.
Oh god. Yep, that's even more terrifying. All right, moving on to the last picture that we have in our Discord right now. It's my boy. Me and
Squidward.
Jesus go way back.
I'm waiting for it to show up on the. Oh, okay. So this would be one of those things. Do you remember?
It's a Banditos mouse.
Do you remember when the Okidi?
Yes, I do.
This would be similar to Pip Pap Scallywap. This would be another rat folk type type race that you would just make with like a dex build.
Now, would you make them as small as rats, or would they be like taller? Would they be like 3
They're
feet tall?
human sized. He's human sized. But
Oh.
the issue with that one is they're like you and me tall. They're
Wow.
like big. They're not like Speedy Gonzalez.
Gotcha.
But the reason why that one is that size is because he's been turned into a figure, like by a wizard. So like when you touch him, you activate it. Okay,
I got you.
see, thought process.
Poor guy.
Yeah. So that would be.
Well, I mean, he could be a douchebag Godeki.
Probably. That's why he's a statue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would probably, just because I'm a Looney Tunes fan, immediately it's got like a speed of 80. It's a speed of 80. It's the only character that's gonna have a gun, and I'm really gonna hope that my players chuckle a little bit because what I did. And how you doing today? What's up?
Oh God, Andre.
Yeah, I know. I'd lead into it. But it'd be one of those things where, like, if you had a talking bunny, like in the upcoming Feywild game, like there's gonna be rabbit folk. There's a little bit of me that's like, I'm in.
I'm still waiting for the dog people.
Oh, the canines?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like we'll have to make have to make one.
Yeah. Make them like humans, give them a bite
but
attack.
Not this week. Not this week. We're running out of time.
Not this week.
We're gonna call it there, I think. Unless we have any more. Do we have any more? Did we miss anything?
I don't know.
I didn't see anything else in the tavern talk. Nope.
I don't think we did.
That was all of them. So hopefully next time we do this, probably next month, maybe in a couple of weeks, we'll do it again. Hopefully we can get some more stuff from you guys. But let's talk about whatever else we can talk about, I guess, when it comes to homebrew. What do you think? Do you have anything?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about. So, I mean, both you and I have done so much homebrew in the past.
Yep.
What be it? I'll take some of mine. I've kind of tweaked abyssal demons and princes of the abyss and made them stronger because I threw my characters in there at like level 15, 17. So I had to make Demogorgon and Orcus stronger, if you can believe that, because I had a whole homebrew campaign. Once you get to like level 8, that's when you realize you can't do anything from the book. You got to add shit. You always have to add stuff. You gotta tweak them just a little bit. Things that would normally not be resistant to poison are suddenly resistant to poison. It's, if you want to make the fights like memorable and not a cakewalk, an entire homebrew campaign is also a way to go. But there are little things that you can do to make mundane NPCs like little nods to like characters in your favorite TV shows or comic books, like Captain Cold or Heatwave, and just give these thieves gauntlets that do little things instead of guns, little things like that. But okay, you got any homebrew stuff that you liked?
I mean, I did a whole second half of the campaign was homebrewed. I had to make up places that
What'd
they
you
went.
add to Tiamat?
Tiamat, I added. Went and I decided to make you guys go and fight as many dragons as I could, so you could kind of study them. So I gave you the blue dragon fight. I gave you the multiple red dragon fights. Gave you a couple fights.
But what did you add to Tiamat?
What do you mean?
Her block.
Oh, I didn't add anything to her block.
You didn't add. Oh, so we were also book stats, right? That campaign, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than I gave
me and
Knocker. You guys had a few other things that I gave you boons and stuff throughout the game too, like that were from
nothing game breaking.
Yeah, I mean, it could have broke the game if I kept 2 books. I had to actually make my own stuff to go along with that, but I kept Tiamat where she was because you guys were level 17, I think, and you had enough magical equipment / know-how to fight.
Know-how.
Yeah, to fight that whatever CR 27 or whatever she was. 23? I can't remember.
It's something high. It's 25 and up.
Either way, you guys did it. But I did like a lot of the equipment that you guys had was made up. I did a lot of the.
Can I mention my favorite homebrew about that campaign?
Sure.
You took possibly one of the most garbage staffs you can give a player. Like, it's not a good staff. And you made me love a stick. You made me love a stick, dude.
Yep.
You Screech?
Yeah.
I still have the card. I still have Screech. Screech is in the book, it's a staff of swarming insects.
Yep.
It had the stats of that. However, Thundercat, the Gene's player that he is, the man who took a silly voice like this and then put it on a roper and just wanted us to feed him. He put a voice and a personality to
it was a kind
object
of Tasselhoff, a little bit of a Tasselhoff.
I don't remember the voice of Screech because it's been a while, which kind of makes me sad a little bit. But it was one of those things that you had the name for bugs, and every time I would whip out the bugs, you would just start naming them off. Like, ooh, that one's Fred, and that one's Steve, and that one's George. Oh, hi, Bill. Hi, Bill 2.
Yep.
Hi, Bill 3.
Yep.
It was those little things that took an object that most players would look at and be like, well, this is going to get sold. This obscures my vision. And I was like, I don't fucking care. I don't give a shit about my vision. You're going to be within my 5-foot death radius? Do it. I'll whack you with my stick.
Right.
But
well,
that was one of those
you were
things
a monk with a druid weapon, basically.
Yeah, it was weird because I was like, all right, well, it doesn't say I can't use this, so like, let's do it. Fuck it.
Yep. I knew your character would love it because it was a talking stick.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, talking weapon sounds cool. I want one.
And then
I got a face tattoo.
And then I gave the same idea to Vandal, and it was the stick that wanted to kill everyone in your party. And you and the rest of everybody.
I'm trying to picture the fan art for like Barondeer at the time. So when I got that stick, I was wearing the fanciest clothes that money could buy. I ripped the sleeves off because
in Waterdeep, right?
In Waterdeep.
Waterdeep's fanciest clothing.
Yep. And I spent a bunch of money on it. I had a face tattoo of a skull. I, at that point, got Screech. And I had my clumsy Druidcraft cantrip and a handy haversack. So I'm walking around with all the backpacks that I could carry. This weird-looking yellow stick with all these, like, green, like, bugs on it. Face tattoo.
It looks like they're like in amber. The bugs all look like they're amber on the stick.
A fancy fucking Aladdin waistcoat. These riding boots that have the toes all like ripped off because Kung Shu coming to a clothing line to you. Formidable fashion. We kick our shoes at you. Kia.
Formidable dungeon fashion.
Exactly. There's a skeleton over there. Kung Shu.
Barrett here kicks him.
Honestly, that's something that we could have homebrewed if it would have kept going. Like, could I make a shoe a projectile? Why can't that be a monk weapon?
Are you like a
tavern brawler?
A 50-year-old woman that can throw flip-flops at people?
If I took the feat tavern brawler, anything's a weapon.
Yeah, you're right. At that point, 1 damage.
Once you hit 55 years old, you get tavern brawler.
only with shoes.
I like that.
All right, so I think that's that. I mean, is there anything that you want to talk about that you homebrewed that specific? I mean,
not something that I homebrewed specific. There's a lot of resources if you're not particularly the super creative mind who likes to build the entire world but can like piggyback off of. Go to the DM's Guild.
Yeah,
there's a whole bunch of resources that there are people who say you don't have to pay for it, but you know they're artists. Not technically, they are artists. This is their art. Art is word. Exactly. their artist story.
Well, it's not even that. A lot of them have maps. A lot of them have NPCs for free. Like if you're looking for an NPC to like throw into your game,
some of the health stuff that I brought you guys through in that Sunday campaign that was completely homebrew, I got a whole hell PDF, and I took the Mephistopheles, that whole Black Steel stuff. That's from that.
I got all of the Harple like area was all homebrew. That was from one of the things. I was like, I need this map. I need all of this area. I need to learn all this little things about the rest of the Harples that are in here. Like that was from DM Sealed. So I paid for this stuff though because it's worth it. It's worth paying for. These guys, some of these people are geniuses.
Yep, some of them are geniuses, and that's why I'll start clicking links and then start following them on social media.
Yeah,
that's
do that too.
Way like buy their stuff, but then also support them and like retweet, like stuff. Speaking of which, if you type in !links like I'm about to do, you can do that, and then I'll go ahead and clip. I put the wrong one, son of a bitch. You can get that clip. Hold on. Links. There it goes. There we go.
Join us in Discord. Join us on Twitter. Join us on YouTube. We have a show that we do on YouTube called Zombo Force. We are in the midst of season 2. We have some season 2 free, not free, but season 2 sneak peeks.
Teasers
that you can only get if you're a Patreon member. So Fuzzrab, who is our Patreon member, gets to see all of our sneak peek stuff, and also a couple of our conversations that we've had behind during the meetings. So he also gets some of that stuff too. Yes.
Is my Randy rant on there?
Yes, there's 2 of them.
Oh, nice. Two Randy rants. I love it.
In there. And also the Zombo for sneak peek for season 2 is also up. We have a lot of other stuff that will be going up there as well. So if you want to, you can get our Patreon in that link tree. And on YouTube, we have that first full season of Zombo Force, plus a bunch of other shorts and a few other videos that we've done, including all of the backlog of Talking D&D. If you want to go back and watch any of that stuff, it has been slightly edited to make it a little faster on the rewatch. But you don't want to miss a thing, because at the end of every episode, we have a great little thing that happens, and we'll talk about that very shortly. But what else do we have going on, Patch?
That little thing that I want to do the whole. I want to do the whole song that I have tonight.
Because you want to do the whole thing.
I'm going to do the whole thing. What else do we have going on? Well, tomorrow, as we know, bang, bang, shoot 'em up, pew, 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 pew. It's Warzone Wednesday with the boys in Dysfunctional Gaming TTV at time that I'm already in bed by.
Probably around 9, between 9 and 10, we'll probably get started.
And then Thursday's a new thing that I'm not really sure on how to talk about, because you said something and then it's in there. So words come out your mouth at this point.
I asked DD, I think we're going to try to do something. We might not do it this Thursday. We're probably going to talk about it later tonight. But I'm thinking next week we do some Thursday night Discord where we just stream in the Discord, not on Twitch. And anyone in our Discord can come hang out, talk with us if they want.
I was gonna be one of those type of nights on a Thursday. So like if I'm just sitting around playing baseball like I'm normally doing as I'm working on my stuff on the back end.
Yeah.
Like I can just put it up on the screen. We can chit chat baseball.
Yeah, we'll come in and hang out with you, and then we can have someone else stream something if you go to bed, whatever, and like we'll do it for a few hours.
If I go to bed.
Well, I mean,
I go to bed.
if you start at 7 and go till 9, I mean that might be good enough. We don't need to necessarily go for much further if we do a few hours. Like I don't need to overdo it, but if that's something people will want to do, we're going to try to start doing that, I think. And then Friday night, I think we're going to start just doing games with viewers. If we're streaming a game that you want to come play with us, come play with us. Tell us you want to play, and we'll get you in the game. I think that's the best way to put it. If we're playing we need to go deeper, you have and you own the game and you want to come play with us, we have an open spot. You're more than welcome. We'll make room for you to come join us for a few. Hey, Wing Zero, we're talking about all of our cool stuff that we have for Dysfunctional Gaming on our link tree.
We're talking about the skizzy. That's what the kids calling it these days, skizzy.
Yes, the schedule, the skizzy. So Friday night we'll start doing games with viewers, and the community night will still be going on each first Friday night of each week. I mean, each month. That doesn't make sense. Of each month. Our shout outs aren't working either. We have to figure out what's up with Nightbot. I mean, Streamlabs bot must be off.
It's broken.
What's going on Saturday night?
Saturday night we play games together as a team. Or we talk about stuff as I watch the UFC fights and Conor McGregor breaks his leg like every drunk girl in heels. Last week we played Duck Game for a while, and we played a lot of internet levels, and some of them were great. The parkour ones I got really good at really quick.
I have to be honest, at the end of the last 10 games,
Stretch.
I wanted to just I just wanted to stop playing the game so bad. I just wanted to shut it off. I was just like, okay, I've had enough of this.
Well, the normal levels are kind of butts.
No, it's fine. It wasn't the levels. I think it was me just not being able to beat Vandal for the last 20 games. I was like, this is just not fun for me right now. At the beginning, I was having a good time, and then at the end, I was not having a fun time. But when we went over to Deep Rock Galactic, that was pretty good. We had a good time playing that for a while. Hopefully we can get on to now. We're not done. We're done with the tutorial missions. There's 15
How many
of them.
times okay. All right. Now I don't. Now I.
No, it was 9 of. There was 10 of them, I think. So yeah, but we're past that, so that's good. So Saturday night we're going to be doing team games. That's where hopefully everyone can get together and play some games together.
Yeah, Disto.
We don't know what we're playing yet until it gets there, but we're going to be playing whatever we can together.
Yeah, together.
And then
you plus sign. Me,
I think next week DD might be on vacation. I don't know how much streaming he's going to be doing. So
probably no.
Monday is survival night. I might try to still stream from the Functional Gaming site. So
you should play a horror game if it's just you, so you can try to survive.
Probably not.
You should, really should. Honestly, I just want to see you play. We should do something like this because I don't have to work on Monday as well. So I would literally just sit here and watch you play video games. Do you want to
play a game with me then? Do you want to play Phasmo with me? Me and you can just do Phasmo?
No, because I want to watch you play a scary game. That's how. That's what I want to do. I want a little Mystery Science Theater 3000. This shit. Maybe. If you
download the Forest, we can play the Forest.
I don't have the Forest. Remember, I have a lovely PC that I play 8-bit games on.
Yeah, you can still. The Forest isn't that big of a game.
Is it money?
It is.
Yeah, monies.
We'll get it. We'll figure it out. All right, moving on.
There you go. Moving on.
And then next
Tuesdays. What are we talking about next Tuesday? Because we didn't even say anything. We haven't even talked about this.
I wrote down a DMs week. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do something about DMing, but I thought maybe we do improvising. We talk about it.
Yes. Let's DM improvise.
I think we talk about improvising and improvise talking about improvising, and then we'll do some activities that you can do as a DM to get used to improvising with your party. Things that you can do in game that will help you become a better improviser, and things that you can do
I'll give you a sneak peek right now.
Outside the game that make you a better improviser. Go for it.
Hey, Thundercat, hit me with some Billy Joel.
Some Billy Joel?
Yep.
Let's see.
You're hesitating. Come on, man.
I got to figure out what song I want to do.
Whoa!
No, I know which one I want.
Okay, go.
In the middle of the, I go walking in the middle of the, I go walking in the middle of the, I go walking in the middle of the night. I go walking in my sleep.
I go walking in my sleep.
There you go. How about I
So,
got
yeah,
one for
that's
you.
something.
I need Kermit the Frog talking to Bullwinkle.
Ooh, hey ho there, Bullwinkle. I'm not a big remember on Bullwinkle, so this is how he talks now.
This is how he's voiced. Hey, that's improvising.
I don't know, Rookie. That's kind of a Bullwinkle voice right there. Ooh, I don't really know there, neighbor we know. I don't know why I'm talking like Flanders with a Kermit voice. I've lost it.
I can't be mad. That's called improvising. You went and kept going, and that's There's two different forms right there. You could just do the
another really
yes
good
and
form. Yes, and all I can think of is Community.
and you fall asleep.
Credits. And battle. Romance. Kissing. Credits. Betrayal.
So yes, also don't forget, we'll be back here next Tuesday with improvising DM's week. We should have some fun doing some fun stuff. Is that it?
Improvising.
Is that it?
That's don't forget to go to Patreon and give us money.
Yes.
We'd like money.
Give us the money. No, go to Patreon and see all the fun stuff that we've put behind the scenes in, and get your sneak peek on Zombo Force if you like it. Go check it out on YouTube first. You don't actually have to do that yet. Go check it out on YouTube, and we really would love your money.
Yep. Money. And I don't even know what Randy rants are on the Patreon, but I can assure you they're gold, because it's once again one of those improvising moments where someone will just feed me a song and I'll just start going into it, just start talking into it, and sometimes you'll hear Beth get real mad in the background. But hi, I'm GM Patch Nasty. I have a Twitch, twitch.tv GM Patch Nasty. This is my plug. Wednesdays is Retro Nights. I think I'm doing Saturday morning-esque cartoon game shows, or cartoon games. So probably like Disney stuff, Gargoyles. I don't know yet. I haven't figured that out. And then weekends are reserved for baseball, because I've been bitten by the four seam and the knuckle curveball, and I've been enjoying it because I don't have to play against other people, and the computer is still hard. Twitch.tv/GM Patch Nasty, the man, the myth, the mustache. If you see a mustache and colorful hair, it's probably me.
That's right. It's really dark in my room now.
Hey, that's right, because the sun's going down. Sun's getting real low there, big guy.
You can see Iron Man's eyes up there now.
I can. When Iron eyes are watching.
All right. So I guess that's it. I'm Thundercat0420. You can catch me on the Dysfunctional Gaming page right now. I do have a personal Twitch and Twitter, also Thundercat0420. Check those things out. I tweet a lot of things about our team mostly, but I'm mostly on Dysfunctional Gaming.
He also does TikToks. You should certainly check out his TikTok.
Yep.
It's
and
only
on Instagram. It's all the same. They're all the same. 0420. Thundercat0420. Bye-bye. No. Over to the ending screen, we have a full-length Randy Raid song. I'm going to enter in who we're going to towards the end of his singing, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to know the song. So hopefully I'll know when the end of it will be, and we can kind of fade out to him doing the ending.
So I was at work today, and I figured, it's Tuesday, let's do some tunes. And I picked movie music, and I picked one of my favorite soundtracks by the lovely man Gene Wilder, and I thought it kind of went really well with our episode today. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Randy Raid. Hold your breath, make a wish, count to 3. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation. If you want to view paradise, Simply look around and view it. Anything you want to, do it. Wanna change the world? There's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with your imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to. You know what? Just go ahead and do it. Want to change that world? Well, there's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be. Thank you very much. That's only 8 payments of $44.33 on Time Life. Bye, everybody.